Here we got our 2008 Nissan Altima. And you might say, how's a Nissan Altima a sports car? Well, it has a 3.5 liter, the same motor that's in the 350Z. Makes 270 horsepower, only weighs 2,300 pounds, which is pretty good power to weight ratio. 2 doors, which is sweet. It's got a manual transmission, and it sounds pretty good. Previous owner cut the exhaust off, or the mufflers off. This is what a $1,000 sports car looks like. It didn't look like this when I first got it. Did a lot of work to it, and I think we're gonna roll these clips now. But stick around to the end of the video because we're gonna get in this car and beat it on a little bit and see what it has in it. It runs right now. One of the belts, or all the belts popped off. The serpentine belt popped off, and that's the one major thing I have to do. And there's a little bit of rust, and the fender on the other side's popping out, and there's some scratches. It's got 200,000 miles in it, but it supposedly was taken care of really well. And the dude hit an old lady with his car, so we're missing a mirror, and there's a giant dent in the side of it. But overall, it's really solid. The interior is really clean in it. Heated seats and sunroof, push start. I'm pretty excited about that. Supposedly these were like 5.4 seconds 0 to 60 when they came out, like 270 horsepower. It only weighs like 2,300 pounds, so it'll be a pretty fun little car for at least a little while. I eventually am going to sell it. I think I'm into it pretty good. I ordered some parts for it already, just like the serpentine belt and the battery terminal and the mirror. And I'll probably be into it for about $1,500. We'll kind of see when it's all said and done. But big thing is I'm gonna try to pop the dent out of the door, new mirror, get the serpentine belt on, clean up like the rims, knock down some of the rust on the other side, get this bumper reattached better, just clean it up. But it's in overall really solid shape, and we can kind of see what this thing will turn out. Kind of like a budget 350Z, a front wheel drive. I'm pretty excited, and yeah, and the goal is to eventually flip it and make some money on it and kind of roll over. I used the $1,700 I made on that F100, and I used it, and I got 1,000 into it right now. And like I said, when it's all said and done, I'll be close to like 1,500. So I'll pretty much be into this car for free, and I'm thinking it'll probably be like a $3,000 car when it's all said and done. But we'll kind of see and we'll gauge from there. I might also have a hookup on some decent rims for this for not all that expensive. Just got the mirror in. Rock Auto sent me the wrong mirror, so I had to go and do some custom stuff, but it's in, and I got it clamped so it seals and it doesn't leak. But it looks all right. I gotta put the back panel on it, but I'm waiting for the paint to come in because I'm gonna try to paint match it to the car. We'll see how that goes. But it didn't turn out too bad. And then got the wheel off. I'm gonna start hopefully trying to get the serpentine belt on. It's pretty greasy down there. I'm not really sure what happened, but I think that is part of the serpentine belt, the old serpentine belt that exploded. But that's the next thing I'm gonna be crack-a-lacking on. So I got the belt in, and it was running, and the alternator actually worked. However, power steering still didn't work. And the belt, the old belt, was all inside the axle originally, and I found it was in the power steering pump as well. I cleared a lot of it out, but you can still see I don't know if you can see with the sun, but there's still some crap in there, so I ended up getting a new one, so I'm waiting for the parts, and hopefully that fixes my problem. That was the biggest pain in the butt. There was no videos on YouTube to show how to do it, so I think I'll probably make a quick one about it. I also found out the sway bar end link right here, it isn't connected. It's got to go here, so should be able to get it on there and smack with a hammer, and it should be fine. Hopefully it doesn't pop back out. But now I'm waiting, and I got the front end in the air. I think I'm going to paint the calipers. Got some rust protectant paint I'll shoot over it, and I'm just going to get some cardboard and cover it up quickly. It's not a big deal. Anything that gets on the caliper, I can, once I stop, it'll wear off. The calipers are going, or the rotors are going anyhow, so it ain't that big of a deal. I'll probably eventually replace. Jack helping out with the car. What do we got to do? I just got the power steering all figured out. I just needed a pump and to be bled. I made another video on it, a little more in detail how to do it, because I found none on the internet. But that's all set up, which is good. That's like the last mechanical thing. I might swap out the spark plugs. Now I'm going to go in and clean the interior. Doesn't look too horrible. On the driver's side, it's worse. You got crap all over the floor. But I'm going to bang that out. Got the car cleaned up. I didn't go super hardcore in it, but I just wanted to get it better. The whole back seat was freaking moldy, and it looks a lot better now. The guy, the battery was dead, so he was scared that the car wouldn't open back up, because there's the, whatever the key for the key fob doesn't go in here, for the door locks. So he just left it open in his garage, and I think it just got moist. And I think it was super hard. I don't know if you could see, there's freaking like cat hair or something stuck up there. I think one of his cats or something was chilling up there. It like literally like will not scrub off. It's like glued. It's like super tacky and all that. But for the most part, everything looks pretty decent. I mean, it's gonna be a daily driver, so I don't need it to be perfect. And I don't ever clean my cars. So this is about as clean as it'll ever get. I'm going to use some marker on that. I think that black paint marker will look pretty good on that. I'm gonna give that a whirl really quick. But the interior is pretty decent. I'm not too concerned about the rest of it. Now the rest of it's just, next point is like exterior stuff. I got the mirror drying because freaking Rock Auto sent me the wrong parts. The mirror was off a little bit. Ended up having to use some adhesive on the top. It's not a big deal. Get that figured out, and then I think I'm gonna work on the body. I'm gonna get that sorted out, get the dent popped out of the door, and then the rust spot on the other side. I also paint the front calipers. I'm gonna do the rear ones too. I think it looks decent. They were all rusty anyhow, and I shot some rust protectant paint on it, so that should help out. Can't wait to actually wash the outside of it, but I'm gonna wait till I get do the rust on this side. But making some progress, getting closer. I already shot paint on it and it blended it really well. I think if I just tape around it and then use the flapper wheel, knock all this down, treat it with rust cutter, and then I'll probably hit it with some rust protectant paint, and then I'll probably throw some filler on it, sand it down. I think with this scratch, I think I could probably just shoot some of that paint over the top of it. It doesn't look super deep, but the exterior is gonna start getting cleaned up now that it's mechanically sound. I'm about to knock the rust off. It's probably a really stupid idea, but I'm gonna get the flapper wheel out and knock it down. Hopefully it's not super bad. That one concerns me. I don't know, this might be a bad idea. And worst case scenario is I freaking weld some new metal, and I guess don't go for it. You know what, I'm pretty okay with that. It was pretty structural. It's not gonna be too bad. I'm just gonna hit it with some acid treatment. Hopefully stop it from rusting. I got some paint I'm gonna shoot over it. And then I'll throw a little Bondo over it, sand it down. Hopefully it doesn't come back. I think treating the rust, I don't think I should have any problems. I've done something like this before. Not on the outside of a car, I guess, but yeah, throw a little filler on it, sand it out, and then I got the paint match paint to shoot over it, just so it looks a little bit better. I don't have to wait like a day for that stuff to dry. Finished up just as the rain started to come in. It's just drizzling. It turned out pretty well. I mean, it's a million times better than what it was. That's the first time I've ever tried to use a paintless dent remover kit. And it broke on me. I think you guys probably saw that. That was fun. But it turned out pretty well. It's not perfect, but this car isn't perfect. The paint's not perfect. I think it looks pretty good. And got the back bumper back in. That looks pretty good. I'm pretty satisfied with it. For this being the bad side of the car, I think it looks pretty decent. Now I just pretty much, I think I'm going to try to buff out the headlights because they're all foggy. That's the game plan. That's next up on the list. Polishing up the headlights right now. That one came out pretty good. Good enough for me. I got the car wash. Looks pretty good. Now it's raining. But I got some stuff for the rims because they have brake dust like all over them. It's horrible. And I've seen people, you can like use acid. And I thought I ordered acid for it, but I didn't. So I have something that's not acid. So hopefully it works because it looks kind of horrible right now. Even if it gets a little bit better, I'll be happy with it. So that's what I'm gonna work on right now, even though it's raining on. Been working the wheels for a little while, a couple coats. It's coming off. Kind of what it looks like. It's all, I don't know, purpley. This stuff tastes really bad. I mean, smells really bad. I didn't taste it. Well, I did taste it once on accident. I accidentally sprayed myself in the mouth. It doesn't taste good. It doesn't smell good, but it works pretty well. This wheel looks pretty good. This was the best wheel there was. Versus like this one I didn't touch yet, and like the brake dust is like caked down all over the place. So from that to that, it's gonna take a while to get to the back one like this, but it's turning out pretty well. I like the way it looks. I'm still scared. I'm like learning this car a little bit. I think someone dropped a socket in there or something. Either that or the sway bar is loose. It's something stupid because I haven't taken the plastic off the bottom of it, like the protective, so you don't get like shit in it. And I think it's in there somewhere. There's something loose. It's nothing serious. The steering feels fine. I was banging around and moving it on all the bearings and whatnot. I did have to replace the one sway bar. It's only when I hit a bump though. It's nice having a range meter on a car. I've never had that before. It sounds pretty decent. The guy freaking cut the muffler off of it. Right here, it's gonna get really loud. Oh, it wasn't that bad. I'm gonna put it in the non-sport mode. I'm kind of curious on it. You think it would get funky if I put it in drive? If I swap that while I was in moving around?
No.
It doesn't? The previous owner said he got this thing up to 136. Or 132. Definitely feels a whole lot different when it's not in the manual.